Okay, for this project, we can start off by clicking on the web preset, but then what we're going to do is we're going to change our width to 1080 in pixels, not inches, by 1080 pixels. We're going to hit create. Then what we're going to do is take the monster image that you downloaded from our slide presentation. You're going to go File, Place. You're going to navigate to it. For me, I have it right here. And then we're going to click in the top left corner and drag on down to the right. It should fit perfectly. We will embed this image right here. Go to our layers panel, and then we're going to go ahead and click on this little drop down right here, and we're going to lock our asset. So now your task is going to be to recreate this monster image exactly as you see it right here, with the exception of you can change the colors, right? So this time, instead of just doing the path outline stroke, we're going to do the whole thing. Now, a couple tricks for you. Instead of just using the pen tool, we can also use the geometric shapes that we have. So for example, the ellipse tool right here will allow you to create a perfect circle. So if I hold the shift key while dragging that ellipse right here, I can go ahead and make that into the black eyeball that I have right there. Then I'm going to push it off to the side, and I'm going to use my ellipse tool again in order to create this one right here. I just want to get it, approximately the right size. This one's supposed to be white. This is also a circle, so I can copy and paste this to move a little bit quicker, position it right here, and then resize it while holding the shift key. And then I can go ahead and make sure that this is positioned where it's supposed to be. And I have one more to make. So I'll take my circle tool right here, and then from the bottom left to the top right, I'm going to create this green one. Now, if I press the letter I on my keyboard, that will grab the eyedropper tool, and then I can sample the specific color green that I want. Now the only thing left to do is to use my selection tool to right click and then to arrange send backward. All right, so I'm going to send backward. I'm going to right click, arrange send backward again, and I can press option left left bracket in order to move that as well. All right, so I'm going to make sure I take a moment to position these things, perfectly. When you're dealing with pixels versus vectors, you sometimes have to make some creative decisions about where everything is supposed to go. Now you can see that this is actually not a circle, so I'm going to recreate that with the pen tool. So I'm going to start over here and sort of create this line over here, and it's a little bit more of a wonky shape. It's not exactly circular like these other shapes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this into position. If I get it right around here, that didn't really work. I'm going to undo. I'll do one more anchor point right in here, and then pull that into shape right in here. All right, now again, I will use my option left bracket to change the stack order. And once I have all this in place, I'm going to click and drag to select and group it. So I'm going to press Command G. That means if I click on one item, they all move. I can scroll out a little bit, and I can copy and paste this. And now, since this is basically a mirror image, I can right click, go to transform and reflect, and hit OK on the vertical axis. So now I have my other eye made. I don't have to redo it from scratch. All right, next thing I'm going to do is work on this little nose figure right here. Because this is symmetrical, I really only have to do half of it. So I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to do my best job to make this shape. I'm going to use my smart guides right here to get to the halfway point. I'll press Option to get rid of that second handle and click to here. Then I can use my selection tool to copy and paste it. I'll right click, transform, reflect, hit OK, and position it right here. I'll click on both of these together, right click and group, or press Command G. Use my eyedropper tool to select it so I get that color exactly right, and I'll position it right here. So then what you're going to do is just sort of go around, and you're going to continue through the rest of this monster character using geometric shapes and your pen tool in order to create the shape. Let me just show you the rest of the face really quickly. For this, I might start actually with the rectangle tool and then get the right height and width. So that's about right in here. And then I'm going to adjust the radius right here in order to make it approximately that size. I'll temporarily push it off to the side. I'm going to take my pen tool. I'm going to sort of create the spiky hair. All right, so I'm going to click and drag to bend that, then hold the Option key in order to move that to here. And I'm just sort of creating these sort of spiky, sort of elements like so. And I got a couple more to go, like so. And one more, and bring it to here. All right, so now notice that once I have this first one made, I can put it on top of this right here. So sort of have the essence of that design. And for our purposes, what we're going to do is we're going to create a second artboard. So this right here is the artboard tool. I'm going to go ahead, zoom out, hold this, I'm going to start clicking and dragging, but I'll hold the shift key. So I have a second artboard that is also 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. If it's not precise, then we can come in right here in our transform control and we can make it exactly 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. Now here is where we will do the layout for our characters. I'll put him right here. I'll take these right there. Now notice I'm going to change the color to that light green, and I'll position the eyes and nose that I already created over here. And notice my stack order is wrong. All right, so right here, press Command Y in order to see it. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to right click and then arrange, and I'll send it to back. So it's all the way behind. Now I can take a couple of minutes to sort of fine tune the position of everything else. So I'll take all this and put it here. So your goal is to do that for the rest of this design in order to recreate this vector monster. Best of luck to you. Let me know if you have any questions.